Okay.
All right. I'd like to call to order the Guthrie Parks Board meeting for July 17th, 2014. Roll call. Would you please state your names?
Jean Messina.
Mary Beth Craven, new to the board.
Zach Calorio.
Jason Repeat.
All right. Second on the agenda would be to consider approval of minutes for the May 15th, 2014 Parks Board meeting. You had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes.
I have not, but I was scanning.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Third order, consider approval of minutes for the May 27th, 2014 Special Park Board meeting. You all had a chance to review.
That was a busy one.
That was a busy one.
I think I see everything, what we did. I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the May 27th meeting.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Yes,
Yes.
you're the only one there.
It's you.
Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
All opposed? It's been approved. 4, discussion and action on placement of chairperson. So,
That's for her. And you all were approved last time, right? You and Ben.
yes,
Okay, so it's just Mary Beth.
yes. And
Say that again.
the chair, well, isn't...
The chairperson
The chairperson's
is
gonna
Joe.
be...
Oh, so we have to name it. I was
Yes, you
thinking,
have to
you know, I was
name it.
thinking new.
Approving
number.
a new number,
No,
okay.
no,
So I'm
no,
sorry,
okay,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at it wrong.
This is your
Okay.
new boss.
The new boss.
The new
Well,
boss.
Jean did well.
So...
He's gonna be here for a few years too.
I know,
so-
he's young.
Yes.
Have good memory.
Yeah.
I thought
Okay.
I'd make a motion, we nominate you and
As chairperson.
vote you in as the new chairperson. If
I
you'll-
second that motion.
Okay, is that,
Okay.
and you'll accept it?
I will accept it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
You still
Okay,
have to call.
so-
all
You
in
still have to call.
Yeah, all in favor of approving Zach Calorio as chairperson of the Parks Board?
I approve, I guess we'll.
Say aye.
Aye. You didn't say that.
Oh.
Okay.
Aye.
Valerio.
Yes.
A new
Aye.
chairperson, okay.
All right.
All right. No one's opposed?
No.
Okay. Okay, next,
Okay.
for the fifth order, I guess, business update on Liberty Lake activities. Officer Gibbs, would you please update us?
Congratulations on
Thank you.
becoming the chair.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, I'd like to, first of all, just kind of let you know where we are currently, right now. One of the major things that's happened is that Guthrie Lake has finally gotten low enough that we have closed the boat ramp. And there's been some question back and forth on that, and so in this form, if you don't mind, I'd like to explain why it might help with getting that out and the information out there. The Guthrie Lake, where the ramp is a bit shallow, and we are now about 4 feet low, 3.5 to 4 feet. And when that happens, there is the boat ramp goes down and sort of levels off, and that's normally fine. but when people load their boats onto a trailer, they do most of the time what's called power loading the boat. And so when it gets up partially on the trailer, they kind of gun the engine to get it up the rest of the way. And that's normally fine with high water, but when the water starts to get low, what happens is all that wash from the prop moves the sand away from the edge of the ramp where the concrete actually ends. So you end up with a large trough. And when then you're backing your boat in and you see that it's kind of leveling out, keep going back until the back wheels drop off into the trough. That's okay if the trough is shallow, but if the trough is deep, then what happens is that it ends up bottoming the boat trailer out on its frame. And so then there can be damage to the trailer. In some cases you can't get a boat, as of now, you can't get any size of boat out of the lake because it would literally just be an anchor to the truck or the vehicle trying to pull it out. So we close it to try to limit that damage to folks' boats. So at any rate, so Guthrie Lake's ramp's closed, and that's the reason why we've taken quite a few calls. It's not just because we don't want people to load boats. They can do some quite a damage. But what we were here to talk about was Liberty Lake, and as you know or may not know yet, we've been in a remodeling process for that lake, and it is going very well. We now have new gravel down for all of the interior roadways inside the park. There's a roadway now that for our new attendance place, I'll talk about that in just a moment, that goes right up by the house and then directly down into I believe it's 150 foot by 80 foot, I may be off on that, parking lot that's right down by the boat ramp, so no more having to park on the grass or anything like that, and we're done well. Then we even had enough overage on the gravel to start on one of the new phases. The proposed park changes that we had made are a phased process, and just to give you an idea, phase 1 was a lake house remodel, gravel roadways and parking, fencing, an equipment shed, and a playground. And then phase 2 moves into bathroom facilities with showers, lagoon and pumping station, lean-to with horses, clearing sites in the primitive area, and then opening a retail store. So where we are actually now is we are 80% complete on the lake house remodel. It is coming along. In fact, opening the retail store was in phase 2. It looks like we're going to be able to do that in August. So it may not have everything that we'd like it to have stocked, but it will be open, and we'll sell at least Cokes and burritos maybe and something, you know.
Who runs
So
that?
who runs that? That's still kind of up in the air, but right now we're looking at contracting with someone that they can come in. So they wouldn't be a city employee, but it would just be contracted at that point. So of course the gravel roadways and parking are done. The fencing should be coming in quickly. We have the posts set for it. Streets and parks have been doing an incredible job with making that kind of happen. The playground, because of its expense, we wanted to do it right, so we had to push it back a little bit. But they've already started clearing sites in the primitive area, the new primitive area, which is going to give us quite a bit more camping space. So there's been a lot going on. The reason why is we're above projected revenues for the hotel motel tax, and because of that we're able to do quite a bit. The city council, kind of moving forward, they've adopted the fiscal year 2015 goals, and as part of that, as my understanding is, public restrooms are very important in the city. So as a response to that, we're proposing $48,700 in next year's budget to go toward a bathroom shower complex and a lagoon. And the reason why is that we are sort of looking at it in that light. We could do a bathroom shower complex here and then across the lake eventually do a bathroom shower complex there and have its own type of septic system involved in it. But if we do the lagoon, we can set as many bathroom showers that we need throughout the deal, and literally have pumping stations that can pump straight to it. It won't be seen, it's going to be nice, and so that, you know, our ultimate goal is to make Liberty and Guthrie Lake a premier vacation or staycation location in central Oklahoma. Not to, just be something that's, sort of on the back burner, but to really to make it something nice, make it somewhere where you'd like to go, take your kiddos, spend the weekend. We're even looking into right now a grant that might allow us to put in some paved walk paths. So, but that again is still very up in the air, just preliminary. I just found out about that yesterday. So, the last thing is, you know, of course, we've got the sales tax proposition that's coming up in August. If that passes, we are one step closer to being able to pave from Coltrane and Seward down into the park and through the park, because we have a matching grant with the state, as I understand it, that says that if we will prepare the roadbed, they will pave, and not just the roadway itself, but all the way through the park. So I'm very, you know, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in August. So just in a nutshell, that's sort of where we are. There's been a lot of great changes, and when we get that done, I hope to bring you guys some photos and something that you can see the inside. Right now, it looks just a bit like a mess.
Oh, yeah.
On the inside remodeling project. Oh, and the last thing, that the remodeling on the house, what that would do is there would be an attendance quarters in a portion of the house. A large portion of it would be the retail area. And then there would be a small area that's for a lake patrol office that comes right off the retail store. So it would give us a presence there, you know, much more frequently if the officer doesn't have to drive here, say, to do a report or something like that. If he can just the lake patrol, you know, and come in there, and it's really coming along well. So at any rate, we're just moving forward. But do you guys have any questions of me?
Was there originally a plan? I mean,
yes, very good. Jacobs Engineering had worked out a Liberty Lake plan, a master plan, sort of an overview. And a few things on that have changed. For instance, they were wanting to fund a lot of the changes by selling a lot of the land for home sites that encompass probably, and this is a loose estimate, but 70% of the circumference of lake. And there were a lot of people that said, hey, gosh, if we could just hold off on doing that and then sort of turning this into more of trails, nature lake, that kind of thing. And I think that's sort of what the focus has shifted to. However, because of the work that Jacobs did in preparing that master plan for us, the areas that they were going to turn into a nature center and trails and things in the park area were much the same, you know, goal that we have as for our initial phases. So we really don't have any change from that plan. We're just implementing those changes as we can.
Great.
And because of those higher revenues, it's we've really been able to take several great steps forward toward it.
Good. Sounds neat. I'll have to look at the plan and go out there.
Absolutely. And anytime you guys would like to come out, of course, you can call down the police department, and I'll even take you around. We'll
may have to
jump in the truck and
Well,
go
because I
around.
might say, I don't want to get my car down there because I haven't gotten brave enough. So that'd
Well,
be,
it's also getting better. To let you know, they've started, because it's the city's desire to do that paving. I noticed they've done quite a bit of gravel on Seward Road,
Yeah.
and they've prepared that bed. So, matter of fact, if you want to do that, I'll pick you up at Guthrie Lake and we'll go there.
Oh, okay. So just call.
Or, yes, absolutely. Just call and we'll ride out
We
there
should do
together.
that. Because I really have been wanting to get down there. I'm just afraid to go down there. We don't want to go tomorrow down the Seward Road.
Well, I got out today in one of our Chargers. Oh, and let me tell you this. And this is probably going to come out. I believe Chris Evans is doing a story on this. But we ended up having some trouble with being able to get some of our labor started out at Liberty Lake House, and it kind of pushed us back now almost a month. It looks like we're just a month late for when the city manager wanted us to have that project done. And again, it was because the people who were had said that they could do our labor had said, listen, this may be a problem, we may be late. So the Logan County Sheriff's Department allowed us to pick up several inmate trustees, and they've been allowing us to do that for the last 2 weeks. And Chief Deputy Rich Stevens has been incredible on that. He's allowed us to come and pick them up, and some of those guys are very skilled at, for instance, just carpentry, just you name it. And they've handpicked those guys and sent them to us, and they've been a great help every day. So my hat's off to them, and my thanks, of course.
Right. And when you say to us, who else besides you?
Well, we've got a building superintendent, that's Kevin Dixon.
Oh,
And so he'll come out and help. We have another officer that's been, they've allowed to help me with this project, and that's Ryan Friesen. He's been out there for quite a bit as well. And the chief has gotten behind it and say, hey, if we need to finish it, then he kind of allows me to do that.
good. Sounds like a major deal.
It's
Has
been a
anything
process.
been in the paper about it?
Other than my only knowledge was of it was the was Cliff Evans coming out and
Okay.
doing that on the Guthrie news
Okay.
page.
Well, that
Okay.
sounds like a plan.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Good day, guys.
Thanks.
Okay, next order of business, staff report. Mr. Reed.
Things are going good. This is obviously the busiest part of the season for us. We are working as hard as we can to get everything, as much ground covered as we can. I mean, we've got a lot of acreage to cover, and that's not just mowing, that's weed eating, that's flower beds, that's all kinds of stuff. And we're happy to see the rain, because it gives us a little bit of a break, but also we need the rain. But as soon as it dries up, we'll get back to it.
We're mowing.
We're just gonna keep plugging away, doing the best we can. I
And
don't
the-
have anything major to report.
The triathlon, I noticed they got the little buoys out there. And how are you gonna get a boat out there? Don't they have to have a boat for the
Kayaks.
swimmers?
Kayaks and canoes.
That's- Okay, so that's what, there won't be anything that has to go off the ramp.
Yeah, if we have to load a boat, absolutely, we can.
You can do it.
We can do it. It's just getting it out becomes a problem.
Okay.
So,
We do have the triathlon this weekend, Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
What time does it start? 7 o'clock. I should know that, but I don't. I apologize.
How many are on your staff now, Jason?
I have 3 seasonal employees, and I have, I believe, 8 full-time.
Oh, okay.
And
Including
Blue's one-
myself.
And Blue's one of those full-time?
Yes.
Well, there is a lot of property. And do you have a schedule or a way that you handle all that, or is it kind of something rough, you
Yeah.
take care of it, but you keep
No,
moving?
we have a 2-week rotation
Oh, okay.
that we do our absolute best to stick to. Obviously, weather plays a big
Yes, it
determining factor in that 2-week rotation. And we also take care of the cemetery as well. And we have, it's the same, they're all under the Parks Department,
Yeah.
but they are, for all intents and purposes, their own separate crew. We try to keep them in the cemetery. There's plenty of work in the cemetery for them to stay busy.
But it looks really, it's a big cemetery, it looks
is-
nice.
It is,
Really
it's
looks
very big, and it's a job in itself. But we do our best with the people that we have and with the equipment that we have, and we just keep plugging away.
What's your biggest challenge ahead of you in the next month or so?
We'll have to see what this rain does for us.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have to see what the rain does. There for a while, things were burned up. These last couple of weeks, everything that we mowed was just brown. It was all burned up. It's not going to be the case anymore.
May have
So
the opposite.
after this rain, I'll be able to give a little bit better assessment as to what the biggest thing in front of
I'm
us is
curious, what
going
was
to
the green stuff? I noticed they were working at the dam. There was like green marks spray, what was that? Was that the mark where you, I couldn't
No,
figure that out.
be. What it is there's a chemical that we use that is designed specifically for being sprayed around water.
That's what I'm wondering,
And it's-
it must be.
It's designed
Okay.
specifically, it's safe for all the animals and all the fish and everything like that in the water.
Yeah.
But what we did is
See what they do.
we sprayed that dam to keep that grass down so that as you're driving over
Okay.
that
Yeah.
dam, you can see.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can spend literally an entire day
Oh,
with
when they
every
were
single
weed
person
eating-
out
weed
there.
eating it, yeah, that's just too hard.
And that's, when we have as much ground to cover as we do, we just really can't afford to have everyone there for one day. So we try to use chemicals, we use the proper chemicals in the proper places. If we're around water, we're not going to use a thing that is going to be harmful to any of the animals around there. It's not going to use anything like that. We're very responsible with our chemical. And we use it, like I said, in the way it's supposed to be used. We're not out, spraying all kinds of things just to cut our workload down. We're doing it, it does cut our workload down.
That looks nice.
But we do it and try to make everything as nice as we
I'm
can.
just curious, because I did see it, and I thought, I wonder what that is.
Yeah, in fact, our sprayer had broken out there is what happened. It sprung a massive leak, and that's why you see on the across the dam the big green spots.
Okay, well, I don't get this, they're marking that they did this, that was what caught my eye more, is it went in space and almost like you were marking it to let yourself know something.
No,
Okay. Okay.
that's all I have.
Okay. Do either of you have
I don't have
anything else?
I
Any,
think so.
okay. Well,
We'll meet again in, is it July, August, September.
September, yep.
Okay.
So, all right, well, we will adjourn the Parks Board meeting.